Kruger. Okay, Mr. Yamaguchi. You just priorly threatened me, so I just want to be sure that I don't,
Mr. Garza,
do anything against protocol. I felt it was a threat, that's why I left. So I'd like to know when I can come in and file a police report for an illegal arrest, follow up on the lack of, any type of assistance by Ms. Kruger, follow up on, what I haven't received from my LGBT liaison so far, and continue to, video record the lack of help that I'm receiving here at the police station. I also, please, sir, one last thing, would like a copy of the thing that gives the sheriff the sole jurisdiction over the buildings that we spoke of earlier, because when I called for civil standby, I was denied civil standby. So I want a copy of that law. So could you please just email me as soon as possible as to what date I can come in and get all this stuff done with you? I'll be happy to do that and go forward, and of course videotape it so that I can post it on YouTube so that they can continue to delay and harm me even further. I've gone to Ms. Kruger's office repeatedly, not been assisted, that's a dead-end lead. It's too bad that the CIT officer doesn't work here. I am very, very disheartened and saddened by what I've received from the LGBT liaison, because at this point I don't feel I've been handled with respect, compassion, nor honesty. I'm following up. I feel I've just been threatened, and it's very, very painful for me. So would you please contact me as soon as possible for me to come in and file the police report? Like I said, I was falsely arrested at the Department of Public Health, following up for health care, kept 24 hours. Just before I was going to go see a judge, I was told that I was free to go, the charges had been dropped, and that I was innocent. When I asked why I had been falsely arrested and why I asked I didn't have the due process to go in front of the judge, I was, pushed out of the sheriff's office. Sir, my dignity, my civility, my humanity has been so much abused, I just can't take it anymore. So, would you please contact me as soon as possible for me to come in, file the police report, get a copy of the law that allows the sheriff to have sole jurisdiction over these facilities, violating my police rights and civil rights. Maybe gather together what facts you can gather as far as your alleged help as my LGBT liaison, handing me off to Kelly Kruger, the CIT officer, who's repeatedly failed and harmed me. And yes, I do apologize if I was a little abrasive earlier, but you must understand this has been going on for years, and the only hope I see is my death.
All right, Mr. Garza. Number one, it was not intended to be a threat. It was a reminder, as we've reminded you several times, and you've been able to comply with, and for whatever reason today you may have forgotten and certainly did not comply with the rules that you cannot enter the business office with the camera on, because the possibility of all the confidential papers that we are working on and our computers being on could be inadvertently or even on purpose, but probably more inadvertently just captured. So we're trying to protect everyone's rights by having you do your videotape out in the hallway.
I understand, Mr. Yamaguchi. I understand the representation, and I understand that before I've done it, I also understand there's nothing posted on the door contrary to that.
But Mr. Garza, we've explained that to you in person, and you've been able to comply with that. That's why
There's other videos of where I've gone in and spoken to you. You've asked me to go outside, and I have, just like I did today. So it's not about disrespect. It's never been that. So I understand the framing and the way you're portraying this. I would imagine the people on YouTube will understand it also. So, okay, your number one is understood.
Right. And we will ask, and I was just writing Ms. Kruger, Sergeant Kruger, an email asking her to contact you to address the questions that the questions you just posed me before the first time you posed me, and I will ask her to address the questions you just posed me.
Sir, when you say the first time, does that negate the time I told you before that she had abandoned me and that I was trying to follow up on that also? I mean, I just want the audience to notice, the whole truth and nothing but the truth. Does that also include those times prior that we've had a discussion of receiving no assistance from Ms. Kruger?
My understanding is that Sergeant Kruger has assisted you, even to the point where she was able to obtain medical documents that you had been asking for and were unable to obtain at San Francisco General Hospital. And again, my understanding is that you will have those documents in your possession now. And that is greatly in part to the police department, specifically Sergeant Kruger, going and obtaining those.
Oh, you mean the records that she obtained that I sunshined and now she's trying to take credit for? What about the time on 4/30 when I was there seeking emergency care and she denied it to me? That's on the videos also, folks, for you to see on YouTube. Continue, sir, to spin it in the direction which you desire. I will continue to point out the whole truth. Yes, which is to this day I still have not received any assistance nor follow-up to go and get my medical care. You know, we had a meeting with her and Dr. Pine. It didn't produce anything.
Mr. Garza, as far as medical care, that again is the control of San Francisco General Hospital and doctors, not the police department. As a police officer, I have basic medical skills, so I can't obviously provide medical care for you the way I believe you are asking for. So doctors at General Hospital.
That's a wonderful tangent, but false, because it's not just the doctors at General Hospital. It's, you know, getting health care through the Department of Public Health. Okay, Dr. Pine was through the Department of Public Health. Nice subterfuge, Mr. Yamaguchi. Continue, please, for the audience.
So the Dr. Pine, as you've indicated, has not assisted you at all?
That is correct. I specifically requested, you know, medical help, you know, an appointment to get to see a doctor, you know, videotape and go forward. That has never happened to this date. He sent me to an access which denied me. So here we go again.
Is it because you're videotaping?
Correct.
And in order for you to receive this medical care that you're seeking, they're asking you to turn the video camera off so you don't violate some other person's rights while you are obtaining your medical care. Is that
That's a nice frame, but it's totally incorrect. No, sir. I, under ADA and programmatic access, am allowed to videotape the receipt of my health care. I'm not videotaping someone else's health care. That is a total, false, bogus red herring, but thank you for bringing it up.
Mr. Garza, with everyone's concern about people being videotaped, and I'm sure you can understand, if they're at the doctor's office and you walk in and you're videotaping, you're potentially capturing others there to obtain medical care. They may not want people to know that they're receiving. In addition, there might be medical records.
It does not deny me my health care rights, sir. It's a lovely subterfuge, but it is incorrect. It does not negate nor deny me my health care rights, especially under ADA and programmatic access, which I repeatedly requested. They can take me to a separate room. You know, we can make accommodations. None have been made, sir, so that's incorrect.
All right, Mr. Garza. I am not aware of any of that. I will ask Sergeant Kruger if that's an area that we can assist you with.
I haven't shown you the programmatic access through, you know, ADA on the computer. I believe we have that in the prior video.
I will ask Sergeant Kruger if that is an area that we can assist you with. If not, then I'm sure Sergeant Kruger will direct you to the Department of Public Health.
And when that fails, then what? Just like I've already been falsely arrested by them on the 24th, held, you know, cavity searched, violated.
24th of when, sir?
This last month, February.
February 24th of 2015, you were arrested?
I was illegally arrested seeking my health care at 101 Grove by the sheriff. I was detained for 24 hours in a jail cell. I was cavity searched. And then, you know, a few moments before I was to go see a judge, because all night long I had requested not only, you know, I'd been read my Miranda rights, I requested a lawyer, which was never provided. Then I said, well, I want to see a judge to show him my videos and the fact that I'm following up on the denials of my health care. Shortly before I was to go see a judge, I was released. I was told that the charges had been dropped, that I was innocent. I turned around and asked them, well, if I'm innocent, why was I falsely arrested? Of course, there was no answer. I was shunned out the door. You know, I was denied my due process rights. Remember, I was illegally arrested at San Francisco General, following up on those medical records, and then those charges were dropped, and I never got to see the judge either. Now, you know, it's a lovely game that's being played on, you know, citizens seeking their health care by the fact that, you know, that the sheriff is able to do these things, and there's no police, you know, rights afforded to the citizen. I repeatedly asked for my police rights.
The sheriff is a peace officer. We're all peace officers.
Police, not peace. Peace officer is like a rent-a-cop, just there for security, not there to enforce people's police rights.
There's no difference between sheriff's rights and police rights. We're all peace officers in the state of California. We all have the same duties and responsibilities under the law. So when you say...
So anyway,
there's no such thing as police rights and sheriff's rights. We're all peace officers in the state of California.
Well, then why am I denied my civil standby to these buildings by the police department?
So the sheriff's department controls those properties. They are the main law enforcement agency that patrols and takes care of the building. Therefore, we direct you when it comes to... And
when they're violating my rights, I don't have any police rights from the San Francisco Police to get help there.
So we're all peace officers. So if you have a complaint about the sheriff's department, then the sheriff's department has the same protocol regarding obtaining citizens' complaints and doing an investigation of those complaints.
Which is, of course, denying the citizen the ability to get in and videotape him giving his complaint and following up on it, thereby creating a way for them to say that it's not substantiated because they never give the complainant an interview. Yes, that procedure has been used at me at OCC and through the Sheriff's Department. You are correct. It is another false, you know, unworkable methodology.
Right now, the best I can offer you is to contact Sergeant Kelly Kruger and ask her to contact you.
And when that doesn't work, do I come back to my LGBT liaison and point out that it's not respectful, it's not helpful, and it certainly provides no dignity to send somebody down a dead-end lead that provides no service?
I don't believe that it's a dead-end lead. I believe she will do everything that we can do as the police department. There are certain things we cannot do, and when it comes to the sheriff's department, if we're conducting someone going into a building controlled by the sheriff's department, we would allow the sheriffs who control that building to have jurisdiction over that property.
Then you would deny me civil standby?
We would ask you to contact the sheriff in order to obtain that civil standby.
So you would deny me the civil standby from the police department?
I would ask you to contact the sheriff.
The sheriff does not provide civil standby.
They do. I find that rather hard to believe because I've seen the sheriff.
I've asked the sheriff to walk me across the street to the Department of Public Health to ensure that I get my health care, and I've been refused. That would be civil standby. It has not happened. So, sir, that is incorrect.
There again, the sheriff's department.
This is important, Ted. We need you right here. He'll be right back.
No problem.
Okay.
No, actually, he won't, Michelle. He'll be right back. He's done.